Hello everyone, Sergio here, your English teacher. Welcome back. Hoje, 12 de maio de 2025. Segunda-feira, Monday, it's Monday. Gente, antes de começarmos a nossa aula, eu quero deixar um recado aqui pro pessoal. Porque você que acompanha meus vídeos, hoje a nossa aula vai ser para alunos mais avançados. Só que antes de começarmos, eu gostaria de dizer o seguinte: se você tiver à procura de um professor de inglês online, por favor, entre em contato comigo, ok? Principalmente você que é aluno do ensino fundamental e médio e está precisando de ajuda no inglês, por favor, entre em contato comigo e a gente pode aí agendar algumas aulinhas, ok? Well, okay, so here today we're going to have this class here that is for advanced students. That's why advanced grammar in use. So here today, the exercise we're going to use this book here, this one here to study just advanced grammar. That's why the whole class is going to be in English, okay? So this, of course, is the best one if you want to study English, okay? The best collection ever, Advanced Grammar in Use. So, let's move on to page 13. Okay, this is where we're going to start our class today. So, unit 1 here is present continuous and present simple, number 1. Okay, we're going to see A first. So, we can use the present continuous with some state verbs. For example, attract, like, look, love, sound. When we want to emphasize that a situation is temporary or for a period of time around the present, okay? Compare. Here, Eugene says, Eugene stays with us quite often. The children love having her here, okay? Now, this other sentence, Eugene's with us at the moment. The children are loving having her here, okay? State verbs, which we rarely use with the present continuous, include believe, consist of, doubt, own. Okay, for more examples, see GR84. Okay, look, I want you to focus on that. We can use the present continuous with some state verbs: attract, like, look, love, sound, when we want to emphasize that a situation is temporary or for a period of time around the present. Look, attract, like, look, love, and sound are verbs which we don't use so often with present continuous. For example, she is attracting, or I am liking, or you're looking, uh, so loving. So these verbs, most of the time, are not used in the continuous forms. Okay. However, there are some situations. Okay. Now here, when you look at the sentence, Jean stays with us quite often. The children love having her here. This sentence here is simple present. However, we got this having here after love. Okay, remember that. Doesn't matter the verb, any verb that we use after love, it has to be it has to be followed with ing. So the children love having her here is simple present. Okay. However, this situation here is temporary. Jean's with us at the moment. Okay. Now the children are loving having her here. This is a temporary situation. Okay, this is a temporary situation. So that's why we use are loving. The children are loving having her here. Now, here's the thing. State verbs, which we rarely use with the present continuous, include believe. We don't say, I am believing in you. We don't say that. We say, I believe in you. Consist of. We don't use consisting of. Okay, so like, she is consisting of, it doesn't exist. Or doubt. Doubt, you know that in Portuguese is duvidar. So, we don't say, I am doubting. We don't say that. We say, I doubt or I don't doubt. And own. Okay, own here is like a to have. To have the possession of something, blah, blah, blah. So these verbs we don't use in the continuous forms, okay? Now, here's the thing. Let's see be now. Some verbs have different meanings when they are used to talk about states and when they describe actions. With their state meanings, they usually take simple rather than continuous forms. With their action meanings, they may take simple or continuous forms, depending on context. Compare. Let's see the sentences one by one. The new treatment for influenza doesn't appear to work. Appear to work here is a state verb, so it's not common to say appearing. Okay, so the new treatment for influenza doesn't appear to work. Okay, now here Madonna is currently appearing in a musical on Broadway. That situation is different because here she often appears in musicals. So appear here has the same meaning as take part. Take part, if you don't remember or if you don't know, take part is like participate, okay? And appear and participate both have the same meaning. Okay, so Madonna is currently appearing in a musical on Broadway. Appearing here is the same as taking part in a musical on Broadway. Okay? Now, here, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea? Think here is a state verb, about opinion, okay? When we use the verb think to talk about opinion, remember, we don't use the continuous form. However, I'm thinking of going in August. This one here is like action verb because the action here is about considering. Consider. So, I'm thinking of going in August is the same as I'm considering of going in August. Okay? So, here, your trouble is you think too much. Your trouble is you think too much. So I'm thinking of going in August. Your trouble is you think too much. So these two sentences here can be used with the continuous forms. Okay, I am thinking of going in August. Remember that whenever there is a verb after of, like here. Okay, so again, ing. Okay, don't forget that ing. So I'm thinking of going in August. Your trouble is you think too much. Think here is action that is the same as consider. Okay, so here the verbs like this include anticipate, cost, expect, feel, fit, have, imagine, measure, and weigh. Weigh. Okay. Now let's go to C here. Okay, so let's go to C here. With some verbs. Oops. Okay, much better. Anyway, so here is with some verbs describing mental states. Mental states. For example, find or realize or regret, think, understand. We can use the present continuous to emphasize that we have recently started to think about something or that we are not sure about something. Let's compare. Okay, so I regret that the company will have to be sold. So here again, I regret that the company will have to be sold. I have made the decision and I am sorry about it. Okay? And I am regretting my decision to give her the job. I am regretting my decision to give her the job. I am increasingly aware that it was the wrong decision. I am increasingly aware that it was the wrong decision. Okay? Now, moving on. When it means think carefully about, the verb consider is only used with the present continuous. Here's the thing. Let me say that again. When it means think carefully about, the verb consider is only used with the present continuous form. Okay, so like he is considering taking early retirement. Take early retirement significa se aposentar antes da hora, ou antes do que a pessoa pode. enfim, is considering taking early retirement, not he considers taking early retirement. Because here, considering, thinking about. So in this case, we have to use the verb in the present continuous form. Oh, in the present continuous form. Yes, that's it, present continuous form. Okay, now here, some of the verbs describing preferences and mental states. Some of the verbs describing preferences and mental states. For example, is agree, believe, conclude, know, prefer, are rarely used with the present continuous. Okay, so here is a sentence. I believe you now. I believe you now. We don't say I am believing you now. Okay, it's not like that. We don't use the verb believe like that with the present continuous or continuous forms. Okay, so when I say I believe you, we can't. It's like in Portuguese we say eu acredito em você, but we don't say I am believing you now. In Portuguese it's okay, eu estou acreditando, but Portuguese is not the same as English, and vice versa. So I believe you now is not like I am believing you now. It doesn't work like that. So the right one is this one here, I believe you now. And finally, let me see, yeah, D. Okay, so here is D. Okay, we use the present simple with verbs which perform the action they describe. For example, I admit I can't see as well as I used to. Let me say that again. I admit I can't see as well as I used to. Okay, so we apologize for not replying earlier. Again, remember that reply here is with ing because of the preposition for. So we apologize for not replying earlier. Okay, I admit I can't see as well as I used to. Okay, talking about myself without the glasses on, for me, it's impossible to see things clearly. I have to put on reading glasses nowadays. Okay, when I see things from afar, no problem. However, when I have to read something up close, unfortunately, I need to put on the glasses. Anyway, so admit here is a verb that we don't use with the present continuous, okay, or continuous forms in general. So we don't say I am admitting. We say I admit. The same with the apologize. Apologize is pedir desculpas, okay? We don't say I am apologizing or we are apologizing. We say I apologize, okay? Apologize to someone for something. Anyway, now other verbs like this, sometimes called performatives, include acknowledge, advise, beg, confess, congratulate, declare, deny, forbid, guarantee, name, order, permit, predict, promise, refuse, remind, request, think, warn. The point is, all these verbs here, all these guys here are not used in the present continuous forms, are not used in the continuous forms at all. So we say acknowledge, advise, beg, confess, congratulate, declare, deny, forbid, guarantee, name, order, permit, predict, promise, refuse, remind, request, thank, and warn. We never say I am guaranteeing or I am acknowledging. No. Anyway, some verbs are used as performatives in affirmative or positive sentences. Apologize, deny, guarantee, promise, suggest to have a similar meaning with either the present simple or the present continuous in negative sentences. So, I don't deny, or I'm not denying taking the books, but Andy said it will be okay. Well, look, I don't deny and I am not denying can be both used, but of course it depends on the context. I know that it's not so clear at the moment. Believe me, it wasn't clear for me either when I started out, but after practicing and talking and reading and studying, blah, 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 you know the drill, it's a lot easier to understand those concepts nowadays. Anyway, the point is, I don't deny, or I'm not denying taking the books, but Andy said it would be okay. Note that we can use modals with performatives, often to make what we say more tentative or polite, tentative or polite. We would advise you to arrive 2 hours before the flight leaves. We'd advise you to arrive 2 hours before the flight leaves. I must beg you to keep this as a secret. Okay? Now, guys, look. Now, back to português. Vocês viram aí que a aula foi um pouco mais avançada para alunos iniciantes, ok? Obviamente é para quem pretende fazer, por exemplo, o UFC, ok? O UFC é uma prova de proficiência que eu tenho certificado de UFC, e é um certificado muito importante para quem visa estudar fora do Brasil um dia, é o mínimo necessário. Estudar fora, trabalhar fora, enfim. Gente, cheguei até o final do vídeo para que a aula não fique muito longa. Se você gostou desse conteúdo, deixa um like. Se você chegou até aqui, a princípio, logo de cara, se você chegou até aqui, muito obrigado pela paciência. Dá um like no vídeo, compartilha e se inscreva no meu canal, ok? Se você é aluno do ensino fundamental e médio e está à procura de um professor de inglês online, entre em contato comigo, ok? Eu sei que a gente pode... essa aula foi especificamente para alunos mais avançados, mas se você, obviamente, você vir a estudar comigo e você for iniciante, eu tenho livro para iniciantes também, ok? Pois bem, se você gostou da minha aula, dá um like, comenta e compartilha. E claro, se você puder me ajudar de alguma forma, o meu Pix está aqui justamente para receber pequenas doações, tá ok? Porque a graninha ajuda também, ajuda muito por sinal. Tá ok, pessoal? See you next time. Thank you for watching this video.